Good evening and welcome to Dateline on Delta TV. I am Esther Oputa. President Bola Tinubu has said his administration will continue to address the root cause of insecurity in the country. President Tinubu stated this at the passing out parade of 1,187 newly commissioned Assistant Superintendents of Police at the Nigeria Police Academy, Wudil, Kano State. The President, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, commended the Academy for improving training standards, assuring them that the federal government will continue to support the police with the resources, training and equipment needed for effective and professional service. He reminded the new officers that they were entrusted with the nation's safety and must uphold integrity, fairness and respect for human rights. Commandant of the Academy, Assistant Inspector General of Police Patrick Atayoro, charged the cadets to remain disciplined and committed to justice, noting that the institution had expanded its programs and upgraded facilities to meet the demands of modern policing. Vice President Kashim Shettima has said increased investment in nation's education sector under President Bola Tinubu is part of efforts to reposition Nigeria within the global knowledge economy. Speaking at the 50th anniversary of the University of Maiduguri, Senator Shettima described education as the country's national immune system and the most reliable driver of economic mobility, social cohesion, and national security. He disclosed that the 2025 budget allocated 3.5 trillion naira to education, representing 7.3% of the total expenditure. The Vice President highlighted new government interventions, including support for mechanized farming programs in universities, grants to strengthen medical training, expanded entrepreneurship initiatives, and increased investment in artificial intelligence skills, curriculum reforms, and digital transformation. While acknowledging persistent challenges such as underfunding, brain drain, and insecurity, he commended Borno State's strides in restoring education, noting increased school enrollment and major investments in infrastructure and student welfare. Former President Dr. Nathan has appealed to the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to intervene in the political crisis in Guinea-Bissau by compelling the military authorities to announce the country's election results and release the detained opposition candidate, Fernando Diaz da Costa. He made the appeal in Abuja after briefing President Bola Tinubu on his evacuation from the troubled nation. Dr. Jonathan, who served as part of an election monitoring mission led by the African Union AU, said the tallying process had been nearly completed before soldiers disrupted the announcement of results. He stressed that the will of the voters must be respected, urging ECOWAS leaders to engage with Guinea-Bissau military leadership to ensure the rightful winner was declared and inaugurated. The former president dismissed suggestions that the incident was a palace coup, describing it instead as a ceremonial coup orchestrated by the incumbent Umaru Embalo. He warned that West Africa was fatigued by recurring coups and disrupted elections, calling for firm regional action and restore constitutional country. Members of the State House of Assembly from Delta North Senatorial District, along with the 9 local government chairmen in the districts, have jointly rejected proposal suggesting the creation of an Anioma state within the Southeast geopolitical zone. In a statement issued after extensive meeting, the legislators and council chairmen reaffirmed their long-standing support for a distinct Anioma state made up of existing 9 local government areas of Delta North with Asaba as its capital. The statement said the agitation for Anioma state was a legitimate aspiration deeply rooted in history, championed by past and present leaders who envisioned a state where the cultural identity, language, and developmental priorities of the Anyoma people could be fully realized. It emphasized that Anyoma was the most remain in the South-South, rejecting any suggestion of merging the district with parts of the Southeast, saying such proposals were inconsistent with the historical, geographical, and administrative identity of the Anyoma people. The lawmakers and council chairmen reaffirmed their commitment to mobilizing political support and engaging relevant stakeholders to ensure the creation of Anyoma State strictly within the South-South region. The Ethiop Federal Constituency Forum has inaugurated its new executive leader for Ethiop East and West local government areas towards strengthening party structures across the constituency. National chairman of the forum, Senator Igoyota Mori, administered the oath of office to Chief Midwest Iboyetete as chairman of Ethiop East and Honorable Bright Igbe as chairman of the forum in Ethiop West alongside other executive members. He tasked the new leaders with unifying members and deepening grassroots engagement. Earlier, National Secretary of the Forum and Delta State Director of Protocols, Chief Sunday Onorode, emphasized the need for loyalty, discipline, and respect for leadership. Deputy Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Honorable Ato Akpowo, who hosted the event, urged the new executive to focus on strengthening membership participation and ongoing registration activities. Former House of Representatives members, Honorable Halims Agoda, alongside other senior stakeholders, including Chief Bernard Edewo and Dr. Fred Ogenesiwe, said the development signaled a new phase of unity, coordination, and purposeful leadership within the forum. Believers have been charged to offer heartfelt praises to God for his prophetic words to be fulfilled. The assistant resident pastor of the Living Faith Church, also known as Winners Chapel, Ibuzo Road, Asaba, Pastor Shola Omojua, gave the charge in his message at today's service. Violet Moye reports.
In his sermon titled, Understanding How Praise Facilitates the Fulfillment of Prophecy, Pastor Omojua urged Christians to praise God always for his intentions to manifest in their lives. He noted that praise created an atmosphere where miracles thrived, stressing the need for all to honor divine declarations and remain obedient to God's word.
We can praise our way out of the valley into a high place. Praise is a scriptural procedure we must follow to see prophecy fulfilled. Praise creates an enabling atmosphere for supernatural visitation. And that is what will be your experience today. There will be a supernatural visitation for you.
The service featured thanksgiving by the Delta State Agency for the Control of HIV/AIDS, DELSACA, as part of activities marking the World AIDS Day. The executive secretary of the agency, Dr. Hobson Rudolph, said there was need to appreciate God for his guidance in the state's ongoing efforts to combat HIV/AIDS.
All the praise. We have come to say thank you, Baba, for being with us in our response against the fight against HIV and AIDS in Nigeria, celebrating the World AIDS Day, 1st of December 2025. And this year's theme is overcoming disruption and sustaining the Nigerians' HIV response and sustaining Delta State's HIV response. We give God the glory.
Violet Moye reporting.
Stakeholders in the state have been called upon to renew their commitment to ending HIV/AIDS as a public health threat by 2030. Governor Sheriff Oberewori made the call while briefing newsmen as part of the activities marking the World AIDS Day. The occasion was attended by stakeholders including officials of the Delta State Agency for the Control of HIV/AIDS, DELSACA. Henry Unogwa reports.
Governor Boriwori, represented by the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joseph Onojame, said the local theme for this year's observance, Overcoming Disruption, Sustaining Nigeria's HIV Response, served as a reminder of the positive gains made through the Delta State Agency for the Control of HIV/AIDS, DELSACA. The governor noted that communities remain the backbone of HIV response and commended traditional rulers, youth advocates, and the civil societies for their role in the fight against HIV/AIDS in Delta State and the country at large.
This year theme, Overcoming Disruption, Sustaining Nigeria HIV Response, remind us that while we have recorded major gain through Delta State Agency for the Control of AIDS, our health workers, civil society, communities, partners, new challenges persist. Our administration will continue to enforcing protective laws and expanding survivor-centered services.
The DELSACA team later held a candlelight procession in memorial of those who died from HIV/AIDS in communities across the state. Addressing the gathering, the Executive Secretary of the DELSACA, Dr. Hobson Rudolph, enjoined residents to pray for those living with HIV/AIDS. He listed ways the virus could be contracted and enjoined all to practice safe sexual behaviors.
Some people took their life in the early days. Others, because they did not get diagnosed on time, they did not even know what was wrong with them. That is why we preach testing, prevention. It is not a death sentence. HIV is no longer a death sentence.
Other speakers enjoined residents not to stigmatize persons living with the condition.
The loved ones, the associates around them, we should encourage them, show them love. Do not stigmatize them.
To light a candle, to also pray, to also be in solidarity with those, our patient community, those living with HIV and AIDS.
The event featured prayers by clerics of various denominations. Henry Onogwa reporting.
Let's now dive into our food and nutrition segment. Tiger nuts, though small in size, are a powerhouse of nutrition and one of nature's finest gifts to human health. Favor Okafor takes a look at the power-packed benefits of these tiny tubers, small but mighty in health. The report.
Tiger nuts, known locally as Aya in Hausa, Ofio in Yoruba, and Akiawusa in Igbo, are edible tubers with a rich nutty flavor and an impressive nutritional profile. They are packed with fiber, healthy fats, proteins, and essential minerals such as magnesium, iron, and potassium. Tiger nuts are also rich in vitamins E and C, which help strengthen the immune system and protect the body from infections and premature aging. One standard quality of tiger nuts is their versatility. They can be eaten raw as a crunchy snack, roasted for deeper flavor, or soaked in water to make them softer and sweeter. They can also be ground into flour for healthy pastries or processed into tiger nut milk, a refreshing lactose-free drink ideal for those who cannot tolerate dairy. The milk is excellent in smoothies, cereals, puddings, and even coffee. Beyond nutrition, tiger nuts offer several health benefits. Their high fiber content aids digestion, prevents constipation, and promotes a healthy gut by supporting beneficial bacteria. Their natural sugars and healthy fats help regulate cholesterol levels and support a healthy heart. With their low glycemic index, tiger nuts also help control blood sugar levels while providing steady energy, making them suitable for individuals managing diabetes.
I know that there are so many women that are trying to, go on their fitness journey or just eat better in general. I don't really know what to incorporate in my diet, but when you have tiger nuts, you can chew it as a snack, you can make it into a pastry, you can use the juice as milk, and it just serves as natural sugar.
Aside the taste, tiger nut is one of the most nutritious drinks that anybody can ever take. It has too many nutritional values for the body, both for males and females. And I advise that everybody should take tiger nut at least from time to time. It's very healthy.
Tiger nut is very nutritious. It's a good drink. You produce it and you take it. It's very nutritious.
Some studies indicate that tiger nuts may support fertility in both men and women by promoting reproductive health and helping balance hormones. They also help curb appetite and support weight management as they keep one feeling full for longer. Truly, in every handful of tiger nuts lies a world of nourishment, a reminder that nature's smallest gifts often hold the greatest power for health and vitality. Favor Okafor reporting.
The Comptroller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service (NIS), Mrs. Kemi Nandap, has directed personnel to launch a tactical response following the killing of 3 officers at the Bakin Ruwa checkpoint in Tuga, Kebbi State. Mrs. Nandap also ordered immediate reinforcements to the affected formation, intensified joint operations with other security agencies, and strengthened intelligence gathering along the Tuga axis. The attack, which occurred last Thursday, was described as violent and coordinated, carried out by unidentified armed men, with several operational assets and facilities reportedly destroyed. The NIS, in a statement, expressed regret over the loss, describing the fallen officers as gallant men who died in the line of duty. The service extended its condolences to the families of the deceased and reaffirmed its commitment to honoring their sacrifice and supporting their loved ones. It assured Nigerians that it remained resolute in securing the nation's borders and urged the public to remain calm and cooperate with security agencies. The Abia State government has said the electric buses it is introducing into its transport system are designed to ensure passenger safety, provide affordable transport fares for citizens, and achieve zero smoke emissions. The State Commissioner for Transport, Mr. Chimezie Ukebu, speaking at an event in Umuahia, the state capital, stressed that the introduction of artificial intelligence AI-driven traffic lights and the construction of modern bus terminals in Umuahia were aimed at restoring order in the state's towns and delivering more efficient services to residents. He said the state had taken delivery of 20 electric buses and was expecting an additional 20 within a few days, with the bus terminal already in place, adding that the Transport Ministry would prioritize expanding access for persons with disabilities, as some of the electric buses were specifically designed for their convenience. The Commissioner said the bus terminals would be equipped with integrated ticketing systems, retail outlets, and upgraded security networks to ensure the convenience and safety of passengers. The National Examination Council, NECO, has accredited schools in Burkina Faso to host the Senior School Certificate Examination and the Basic Education Certificate Examination. NECO, in a statement, said the approval followed an assessment of facilities and learning environments in selected schools. Nigeria's ambassador to Burkina Faso, Ambassador Muhammad Galadima, welcomed the move, noting it would ease the financial and security challenges faced by Nigerian families who previously traveled to Nigeria for the examinations. Leader of the accredited team, Mr. Uche Ezenwanne, said the development would enable Nigerian students in Burkina Faso to write NECO examinations locally, further strengthening the Council's expanding international presence. The Nigeria Association of Resident Doctors (NARD) has suspended its 29-day strike after an extraordinary National Executive Council meeting in Abuja. The industrial action had disrupted services nationwide as over 11,000 resident doctors protested unpaid allowances and poor working conditions. Secretary General of NARD, Dr. Shuaibu Ibrahim, said the decision followed the signing of a memorandum of understanding with the federal government covering 7 key conditions, including reinstatement of the local JAD doctors, payment of arrears, and release of the professional allowance table. He disclosed that 2 demands had been met, while others are expected to be implemented within 4 weeks. NARD President Dr. Mohammed Suleiman said the suspension was a goodwill gesture but warned that the association would resume the strike if the government failed to honor the agreement within the stipulated timeline. Armed bandits today attacked a church service in Ejiba, a community in Yagba West local government area of Kogi State, abducting several worshippers. Reports say church members dispersed in fear as the assailants advanced, even as the church leader, popularly known as Orlando, his wife and several others were taken away during the assault. The incident had added to growing security concerns across parts of Kogi State. Yesterday, another group of armed men attacked the Isalu Makutu Idofin route in Yagba East local government area, forcing residents and travelers to flee to safety. The wave of attacks has heightened fear in neighboring communities, prompting many residents to remain indoors while commuters are diverting to avoid the troubled routes. Let's now go on a short break. When we return, Dateline continues. Stay with us.
Introducing Soft Home Interiors, where luxury meets modern living. Crafted with precision, our doors are more than entryways. They are declarations of style. At Soft Home Interiors, we make your home or office space a safe haven with our bulletproof security doors, anti-fire doors, pivot doors, super security doors, interior doors, smart locks. We have all types of doors you need and in any size or color. We deliver nationwide. Soft Home Interiors is a division of MAG 1000 Security, interior doors, smart locks, and Turkey furnitures. For sales and consultations, visit us at our head office located at Asaban Lagos Expressway beside Apam's Funeral Undertakers opposite Ekemas Oil Nigeria Limited, Asaba. You can call us on 0803 672 9662 or 0708 943 8130. Follow us on Instagram at Soft Home Interiors. Catch all our latest designs on TikTok at Soft Home Interiors. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at Soft Home Interiors. To discover the art of modern living, Soft Home Interiors. Experience the difference. Experience the luxury.
Delta State, get ready. The future of small businesses has arrived. It's the first Delta State MSME Summit, empowering entrepreneurs, igniting innovation, and unlocking new opportunities. Are you a small business owner, an aspiring entrepreneur, or a young innovator seeking training, support, funding, and visibility? Then this summit is your chance to connect, learn, and grow. Join industry experts, business leaders, government agencies, and MSME champions sharing practical tools, winning strategies, and funding pathways for Delta entrepreneurs. Declared open by Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori, Governor of Delta State. Chaired by Mr. Tony Elumelu, Chairman, Health Holdings and UBA PLC. Don't miss exhibitions, masterclasses, networking sessions, and new MSME support initiatives. Theme: Advancing Delta MSMEs from vision to more value. Date: 3rd through 5th December 2025. Venue: Miriam Babangida Leisure Park, Awan Ila Road, Asaba. Time: 10 a.m. daily. Delta State MSME Summit, empowering entrepreneurs, powering prosperity. Signed, Dr. Godwin Adolo, Executive Secretary and CEO, Delsmeda.
Welcome back. You're watching Dateline on Delta TV. Let's now go to the global scene. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, accused in long-running corruption cases, has submitted a formal pardon request to President Isaac Herzog. The office of the president is aware that this was an extraordinary request which carried with it significant implications. After receiving all the relevant opinions, the president will responsibly and sincerely consider the request. Mr. Netanyahu was up against 3 separate cases of corruption filed in 2019, which included allegations of bribery, fraud, and breach of trust. He denies the charges and pleaded not guilty. His request came as United States President Donald Trump pushes Herzog to pardon Netanyahu in the cases in question. Herzog also received a letter from Trump earlier this month urging him to consider the pardon. Mr. Netanyahu is also wanted by the Hague-based International Criminal Court (ICC). In November 2024, the ICC issued an arrest warrant for Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant on charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity in Gaza. He is the only sitting prime minister in Israeli history to stand trial after being charged with fraud, breach of trust, and accepting bribes in 3 separate cases, accusing him of exchanging favors with wealthy political supporters. The corruption cases against him include allegations of receiving nearly 700,000 shekels in gifts from businessmen. From Indonesia, the death toll from flooding and landslides on Indonesia's Sumatra Island has risen dramatically to 442. The total passed 300 earlier today, with the evacuation efforts underway, major roads cut off, and internet and electricity only partially restored. Monsoons exacerbated by tropical storms have caused some of the worst flooding in years across Southeast Asia. Hundreds are dead and missing in Malaysia and Thailand as well, with millions affected across the region. The official death toll in Thailand currently is at 170, with 2 deaths reported in Malaysia's northern Police state. Elsewhere, there have been nearly 160 deaths in Sri Lanka due to a bout of particularly extreme weather that has caused flooding and mudslides. In business, the Naira continued its depreciation against the dollar on Friday at the official foreign exchange market to end the week on a bearish trend. Meanwhile, at the black market, the Naira remained flat, closing the week at 1,470 Naira per dollar. On a week-on-week basis, the Naira gained 9.99 Naira against the dollar at the official market, but lost 5 Naira at the parallel forex market. The development comes as the country's external reserves stood at $44.61 billion as Friday, a sharp rise from $44.26 billion last week. That's it on Dateline, but before we go, let's take a look at our thought for the day. A person's most useful asset is not a head full of knowledge, but a heart full of love, an ear ready to listen, and a head willing to help others. True. Thank you so much for staying with us on Dateline this evening. Many thanks for watching. I am Esther Oputa. Good night and have a lovely night rest.